Holy crap, guys, you were not kidding. I finally watched Obsession this week, and after all the hype online, it's true. I haven't felt this uncomfortable watching a movie in years, and I mean that as the biggest compliment ever. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, my name is Troy. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to review Obsession, directed by Curry Barker, starring Inde Navarrette, Michael Johnston in the two lead roles. And again, the hype for this movie has been out of this world. I'm not a big horror guy. I have done some horror stuff on the channel last year, and I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. Was finally able to get a chance to see that this week, and this is as advertised. Obsession is one of those movies that really does get under your skin and refuses to let go. I heard all the praise surrounding the movie. I wasn't sure if it could live up to that, but somehow it exceeded it. And it is honestly one of the more unsettling movies that I've seen in quite a while. I mean, it centers around the character of Bear making this wish for this girl, Nikki, to fall in love with him, which does occur, but then anything but that happens as a result, as just a bunch of craziness happens. I thought I was prepared for this. I did not look into any spoilers or anything like that, especially with it being on digital this week. I was kind of avoiding things as people were kind of talking about specific scenes, but I was not prepared. I was not ready for the level of tension and just uncomfortableness that this movie was going to have. Because this movie isn't interested in making you feel safe. It fully embraces discomfort and forces you to sit in it. And that's what impressed me most, right? It never rushes to get past those uncomfortable and difficult moments. There is many times in this movie where I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we please move on? And it just goes even further. It sits in the scene even further. And that's something that I really enjoy, because I think a lot of times in some of these movies, I really wish they would sit in it further, but they move too quickly. Not this movie. It purposely makes you sit in the tension and just be uncomfortable, and I loved that. The tension is absolutely relentless, and the film understands that anticipation is often more powerful than payoff. I mean, there's one sequence in particular where they're hanging out at Ian's house and they're playing a game. Nikki gets up and she starts reading an excerpt of something that she's working on, and it goes on and on and on, and it's very uncomfortable, and the scene continues with more uncomfortableness, and I'm like, please get to something else. But no, it makes you sit there and just take it all in, and I really enjoyed that. I've not experienced a movie with this much tension in such a long time, and they just did it so masterfully. And the biggest reason why is Inde Navarrette. I mean, she's simply extraordinary in this movie. And this is one of those performances where you completely forget you're watching an actor, because everything feels so authentic, vulnerable, and deeply unsettling. I mean, the hype is real for her. She was sensational. Absolutely sensational. I really hope that she is in conversations come awards season, because she deserves it. I don't think I've seen a performance quite like hers, maybe ever. Just the change up that she was able to have in this movie, just being able to flip the switch of being absolutely crazy and terrifying to warm and bubbly was bananas. Again, just bananas what she was able to do. And there are moments where she says like nothing, yet her expressions communicate everything. It's fearless, emotionally exhausting, and one of the year's best performances. It's gonna be hard to top this, honestly. And I'm really rooting for her to make some noise again in award season here, because she just absolutely deserves it. Michael Johnston also, I think, deserves a lot of praise as Bear too. Playing opposite a performance like Indy's could have been very difficult, but he more than holds his own here. You definitely feel a lot of the emotional weight from his performance, as he does have a lot of regret for making this decision and making this wish, which comes to a head at the end of this movie. And so I think he did wear that very well and was very strong opposite of her. I think he felt really believable, the things and emotions that he was going through. It never felt exaggerated or manufactured. His guilt felt genuine, and I think he just did a really good job capturing that emotional weight, and together the two of them were just dynamite. Fantastic. Just amazing. And for a theatrical debut, Curry Barker absolutely knocks this out of the park. The direction is incredibly confident. The pacing knows exactly when to slow down, make you uncomfortable. I really enjoyed the camera placement and editing too. The way this was shot was really, really great. Just really impressed what he was able to do. I know he's done a couple of short films, as well as a full-length film that he put on YouTube a couple years ago, but this being his first theatrical release, the guy nailed it. Really did nail it. And I'm excited to see what he may do next. I think Obsession works so well because of the atmosphere it creates. It's really its greatest strength. It just sucks you in with these outstanding performances, the masterclass in tension building, and frankly, the absurdity of all of what happens here in this movie. You just can't help but walk away from this feeling a certain type of way, especially with how this movie ends. I'm not going to spoil it. Just man, it's just I'm still thinking about it. I'm probably gonna be thinking about it for a few days. There's a lot of people I got to call and talk about this movie because of how it ends and just the entire experience. But man, this is what makes me really love movies is experiences like this because it was just so unique and so different and one that maybe I don't know if I'll revisit anytime soon because of how this movie made me feel, but just overall a fantastic ride. And as someone who doesn't really enjoy horror, I was fully prepared for the jump scares, but it isn't there. And I was grateful for that. But the scariness of it is because of how emotional and psychologically uncomfortable it makes you feel. And I think that's what's been really nice about the horror genre in the last few years is this type of movie. I think about Weapons last year, and I hear Backrooms is that way too. I still have to check that out. That's really next on my list. I'm hoping to catch that next week or so. But I just really like how horror is leaning more into that element here because for someone who's pretty terrified pretty easily, that's more my style. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. So overall, Obsession lived up to every ounce of its acclaim and then some. Incredible performances from Inde Navarrette, Michael Johnston, a phenomenal debut from Curry Barker, and one of the most tense movie experiences I've had in years. This is easily one film I won't be forgetting anytime soon. And so I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was a fantastic movie. The hype is real. I'm happy to see it succeed. It was such a small budget too, just a box office smash. And so I, again, really hope that this movie gets the recognition it deserves come the end of the year and award season because it was just absolutely fantastic. Let me know your thoughts about Obsession in the comments down below. What did you think about the movie? What did you like? What didn't you like? Where does this on your list right now for top films of the year? I know it's on a lot of people's list, and honestly, I think this one could end up on my end of year list because of how much I enjoyed this. Even if I won't be able to look at Cats the same way, if you know, you know. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to see the future stuff. And thanks for tuning in.